Jay-Z, but on West Side I'm screaming, fuck KD, bitch. Fuck Kevin Durant. Fuck Kevin Durant.
It's recording, but I'm probably not. I'm probably gonna end up deleting this, but it's recording. So yeah.
Editor Tune, fucking Editor Tune.
Professor Tune.
Yo, you gotta have your masterpiece. You know, well done. I feel you. Do your thing.
So this is Real Talk Beyond the Headlines, the podcast brought to you by ATL's Realist. And this podcast is the NBA season wrap-up podcast. For the NBA fans, and you know, we love basketball. This is a sports podcast that brings it to you real. So we talking basketball, and we have the one and only basketball prince. If you've tuned in before, you know him as our resident basketball expert. Say what's up.
What's going on, man? What's up?
Appreciate you coming back.
Yeah, welcome. You're our first repeat guest, I think.
Man.
What?
What have we had? I guess James has been on a couple of times.
Nah.
Yeah. He's been on in weird capacities.
Okay.
I wouldn't really consider him a repeat guest, but
Okay.
yeah, I would say Will hasn't been on it twice.
Man. Will.
I mean, I guess everybody was on it at that same time.
Yeah.
Repeat solo
But
guest?
a solo.
Oh,
repeat
true.
guest.
Yeah.
When it's basketball, I mean, gotta
You're
gotta shoot the memo, man. We about to get into some shit. Gotta shoot the memo.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you coming back, man. I don't know where to begin with the basketball talk.
Right.
The finals just ended. Should we begin there?
A hell of a season,
Yes.
man. Like,
Hell of a
What you mean,
season.
hell of a season?
Bro.
I mean, like,
Bro, you knew what the
like,
season
no, think
was
about it.
July 4th.
This season was just so, like you said, because it was so clear cut like that from the jump. But I don't think we've seen something like that in a while. I mean, maybe when LeBron's in Miami, we all just assumed, but then no, they won. They were 2 out of 4 there, so a couple years they weren't that clear cut of a favorite. But I mean, it's just so much happened. I mean, that Durant situation that just dropped a bomb on the whole season this year. It just shows it, man. Like, Golden State's about to.
Yeah, what we really need from you, though, is for you to break down for us how the fix is in. Could you
The
do that
fix
for us,
is
please?
So in, man. Like, I've been saying it for at least 4 or 5 years now. One, I mean, we all can agree the NBA is a business. The thing
True.
about NBA is audience, viewings, ratings, fans, who's tuning in, who's watching. Like, you know, they track that every game worldwide by all means, and it never becomes relevant for me again until the playoffs. I won't think about it at all during regular season. I'll just watch the games like a normal fan and keep watching and keep enjoying it. But when the playoffs come, man, it's just from the jump. You can just see this fixes in. Like, for one, I mean, we all know this was meant to be a rematch for Golden State and Cleveland. We were all aware of that from the jump. The sweeping of the teams, by all means, like the first couple rounds for Cleveland, all the series into the finals for Golden State.
See, now there, I don't much see it as a fix yet because, like, these teams are already significantly better. Unless you mean that the fix is, this is a super team that you cannot compete with.
As I was going to that, like, I think Boston winning a game against Cleveland, I believe, was a fix because everyone was upset of how every series has been a blowout or a sweep or. I mean, they had to bring some type of story to the league for people to wake up. If people were just say, "Oh yeah, Golden State swept everybody, Cleveland swept everybody," okay, well we'll just see what happens when they meet up. I think Boston winning one game against Cleveland was a fix, so they just had to switch up and have some type of ratings and kind of have a build up for that game 4 when it was 2-1 Cleveland. Have some type of build up saying, "Oh well, Cleveland's get their act together, it's gonna be 2-2, and they're going back to Boston," and just create stories and headlines. But obviously, Cleveland came out, won that game, ceased all that, and then we said, okay, well, we're waiting for them to win the last game, game 5, and then we'll go to the finals.
I think.
Go ahead.
I think for me, like, the league's issue with how it's being perceived as a fucking fix, which it totally fucking is the illusion of competition, right? Like, it used to be, even with Jordan, even with, LeBron and the Heat, even with Kobe, like, there was a struggle, there was a competition, there was combatants all the way through the playoffs, not just, at what we're having here with these sweeps. And then the faux one win by fucking Boston, and then one win for the Cavs in the finals. Like, don't fucking bullshit me with that when we've seen that there is no competition here.
Yeah, it was the same setup.
For monetary gain, just as you said, because it is I do admit it is a business.
The last thing the NBA would want as a business is a sweep in the finals. That is terrible for business, for ratings, viewings, whatever you want to call it. It's terrible for it. People. That's going to be people's last remarks, last statement of this season. Is that wow, the NBA finals was actually a sweep. I mean, the best they could really do. I mean, the teams were just one completely outmatched. The best they could do was have a game 3 in Cleveland where Cleveland hits a win now, or you're gonna lose. And when you're already down 2, chances are you probably are gonna lose, especially to that team. But and that game 3, they came out, man, like they played really well, obviously at home and whatnot. But even then, the whole game, we're like, man, Cleveland's only up 4. Cleveland's only up 6. As great as they play, as hard as Kyrie and LeBron, the rest of the team were playing, they were only up single digits the whole game. And the final 3 minutes, we see Golden State goes on an 11-0 run, wins the game. Like, that game kind of just showed that, okay, like, regardless of, that made me kind of think differently, because I actually thought going into that game that, okay, it's rigged because Cleveland's going to win. That's why it's rigged. They got to make this somewhat a series. They can't have a 3-0 or 4-0 series in the finals. Cleveland went and lost. It kind of made me question it for a second. I was like, damn, like, maybe this shit isn't rigged, like, maybe it is just straight up Golden State's just that much better than them, and they just are just that. Like I said, they're geared up to play them, and they're better than them on these nights. But then, come game 4, like I said, NBA is not gonna have an NBA sweep. I mean, they have a sweep in the finals, like, sure enough. And the way Cleveland came out that game, I don't know if they went up like 19-5. They had like 19 points in like the first 3 minutes of the game. 2 of Golden State starters all had 2 fouls. Like Klay Thompson, he fouled out. He had 2 fouls in like 30 seconds. I cut the game on 1 minute to the game. He was already on the bench. I hadn't heard his name the whole first quarter, and I realized, shit, he's been in foul trouble. Like, he get 2 fouls in the first 2 plays. Like, just little stuff like that, the way the refs kind of call these calls, get players in and out the game quick. Like, it's just, and then Cavs all of a sudden break the record for most threes in the game. All of a sudden, game 4 now, they can't
decided to shoot out the gym.
They decided to just go crazy now, shoot out the gym, and beat Golden State. Like, like they believe they can win this series. And now, okay, sure enough, first thing after that game is like, you got Stephen A., you got Mike Wilbon, you got Scott Van Pelt, all of them on ESPN saying, oh, hold on now, like, Cleveland came back last year 3-1, like, this has definitely never been done before, but,
of course.
Could we doubt LeBron? Should we put it past LeBron, like, all this and that? Like, that was the whole story for the next 2 days going into that next game, like,
yeah,
it may good and well that wasn't about to happen.
Yeah,
but, like, it's just about the story you're presenting to the audience, and you just want people to talk. And it's just true. That kind of gets people interested going into that game 5. I think game 5 they had a lot of viewings, a lot of ratings. Like, you saw some stuff online. People paid like 100, like 30, 40K to like get a seat at the game. There were people paying tons of money to get seats.
Yeah, NBA is doing a good job of that sort of like business aspect of the sport. And I think it's very murky with sports because the most important thing, in my opinion, is competition. But it's a business, as you said, and I think you gave us a little bit of insight into your own daily experience working at Pepsi. Any shout-outs?
Podcast sponsored by Pepsi. Fuck that.
Nah, it's
absolutely not being sponsored by Pepsi.
You know it's Pepsi Nation, man. You know it's Pepsi.
Bro, the podcast can be sponsored by Mountain Dew. Pepsi is disgusting.
Hey, hold on.
Okay, but
the next pod is sponsored by Fiji Water. I just want to let y'all know.
Next pregame at my crib is Pepsi everywhere, and it's sponsored by Life Water. If you haven't tried it yet, you need to try it.
So I have
get on that Life Water.
So I have this question for y'all, like, because I've had these feelings about the NFL being rigged and like bullshit and stuff like that, but I will still watch. How rigged does the NBA have to get before you're like, you know what, I got to turn this off? Like, how many Golden State Warriors finals sweeps or winning 5s do you see before it's I can't watch this anymore?
Well, Herschel, I'm so glad you asked that question, and if you tuned into the podcast before, you guys know this very well. I am the president of the Warriors Hate Club. The president of it.
Yo, 2 terms, bro? 2 terms?
Oh,
you returning?
This is a position that has no end.
Okay,
and I will retain.
Bro, it sounds like a dictatorship, bro.
As long as KD is there, or is it?
I've hated them pre-post KD, all the above, and I'm from the Bay Area. My favorite football team are the Niners. My favorite basketball team are the Kings. But the Warriors can go eat a whole bunch of. Moving on.
Okay, well, no question before you move on. So, if this is before, like, explain why you hate Golden State. Like I said, you're a Bay Area fan. You've hated them before KD. They haven't really done, outside of KD, that they haven't really done anything too wild to get players. All they've done is develop their players. I hate what they did with Mark Jackson. I hate that at all. I hate that by all means. I mean, But outside of that, I mean, the organization, they've drafted players well and they've developed them. So I'm just want to hear what your
Okay, so
why are you a hater?
Honestly, you're absolutely right. I respect 100% their development of their team, and the only thing that I truly can hold against them in a hate fashion is the KD move, because they absolutely did not deserve KD. But the hate is just hate. Like, I can't even put it in any other terms. It's just hate. It grew in me, and it's grown into this beautiful thing.
So if they keep winning, would you just stop watching altogether?
That goes back to the question that you asked, Herschel, is when do you stop? When do you check out? Because of the conspiracy theory. And I'm telling you now, I'm boycotting the next 2 seasons straight up. Like, I'm not watching any basketball.
2 seasons straight up? Damn.
Yes.
Come on, man.
NBA not getting your dollars. God,
they're not getting any of my viewership.
No Hawks games, nothing?
No. I mean, it may be a Hawks game for like a turn-up move, but I think the most I could do is get the new James Hardens. They're ugly as fuck, but they're going to be a huge fuck you to Nike and Kevin Durant. But, you know, your point, Herschel, like, honestly.
And NMD.
Hey, shout out to Adidas NMDs. I'm wearing some right now. So comfortable. Oh, my gosh. They're so comfortable.
They weren't comfortable in the Yeezys?
I haven't worn those. I'm not exclusive enough. I've never tried the Yeezys. But, you know, honestly, like, I can't watch it. I can't watch Kevin Durant go from being up 3-1 on the Warriors. And even though they lost, that was some exciting basketball.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely, yeah.
You go from 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals to losing that to basically going undefeated in the whole playoffs. That's not a product that's watchable. I'm sorry. And that's how I feel. What about the basketball, Prince?
I mean, I'm going to watch the game just because it's just been a part of me my whole life and my love for the game. But the conspiracies do grow. By all means, it happens every year at the playoffs, and I hate it more and more year by year. It'd be hard to give it a time when I probably would stop watching it, but I mean, it's like this year, just like I said, this Kevin Durant situation it just ruined the season. It just ruined the season. It was such a curveball last year when he did that July 4th.
Now y'all have to admit that like Kevin Durant is still like performing greatness on the court. No? Or is the hate so strong that you can't look past it?
He played his ass off in the finals. I'm not going to lie. He played his ass off.
But of course, he's not being asked to do as much as he was.
Yeah, he has such a leeway because he has so much players around him that you can't sleep on anyone on the court really. But at the same time, he played his ass off. When I see someone that's literally like getting buckets, like no one on the court can literally guard him, not even LeBron. I mean, I'm gonna give him his props. Like, I don't like the move at all, but he played well, man. I mean, you gotta give it to him. He definitely shut people up by trying to get that ring and whatnot. But I mean, he's a champion now. I mean,
you can never take that away from him. To me, and of course, the season is over now. Like, I'm depressed as fuck. I need something to watch. I've started playing a lot more Madden, just watching random football highlights and stuff, just preparing for the season to come. Tune, I know you're ready for this fantasy league to start back up. Oh yeah, you know what time it is. All our fantasy listeners, you know what time it is. Podcast sponsored by Fantasy Bloodsport. You know what time it is. But to get back to it, I've been watching. I happened to see some Randy Moss highlights that came on, and I was really intrigued by like the style and the way that he plays. Like this super tall, quick as fuck, skinny, athletic ass dude who's like precise, but also has enough finesse within his game that he's always making plays. Like, you can't give him an inch and he's taking it to the house. He's gonna break any of your corners. Like, he's gonna moss you. His name is literally a fucking verb. I was watching, having watched Kevin Durant throughout this finals, I couldn't help but make that comparison. What did you guys think of that?
Comparing Randy Moss to Kevin Durant?
Yes, in their own perspective, sports, of course, and never seeing like this freak of nature come into a sport, dominate in a particular fashion, and just kind of be unstoppable in that way.
Yeah, I like the comparison a lot, and I think it's very accurate. A little bit to your earlier point, about like, do I hate Kevin Durant? I mean, I don't hate Kevin Durant, and as far as a team, like, Kevin Durant played his ass off. I despise Stephen Curry. Not that anything that has to do with him as a person. I just despise the Warriors, and he's a Warrior. But he's the greatest shooter of all time. I cannot deny it. You know what I'm saying? So I think that your Kevin Durant analogy was a very good one because Randy Moss was like just this weird, unstoppable freak. You know?
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily like this football, god as far as like what you see with the eye test.
Right.
Until he runs and catches.
Yeah.
I have a comparison. I have a Kevin Durant comparison.
Okay.
To me, would it be safe to say that Randy Moss is the Kevin Durant of football, or Kevin Durant is the Randy Moss of the NBA?
Sure.
Even from an all-time perspective, because Randy Moss, for some dudes, is the greatest of all time, and
For
Kevin
me,
Durant
he is.
What's that?
For me, Randy Moss is the greatest wide
Right.
receiver of all time. But I can't say Kevin Durant is the greatest basketball player of all time. You could say, would you try to like make it just in his position? Or?
Well, I would say there are things that Kevin Durant has done that's greatest of all time, like the 50-40-90 season. That's like GOAT type of, but in basketball, the competition, the argument is settled. Like, it can't be discussed anymore. LeBron James is the GOAT. Moving on. So, my comparison is Kevin Durant is the Anderson Silva of the NBA, and Anderson Silva is the Kevin Durant of MMA.
Oh, that's very interesting. I like that take a lot.
Yeah, and it has a lot to do with what you said. Anderson Silva, until recently, and if you go look at his loss record, the people he loses to are his height, 6'2". But in the middleweight division, 185 pounds, he's 6'2".
He's tall for a fight for that weight class, right?
Yeah, I looked up some of the fights that he had early on when he had like a long win streak, all like 5'9", 5'10", 5'11", his reach longer. But his game is like, he's not a big dude. He's 185 pounds, but he's not swole. He's like actually skinny.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Durant. But his precision
is
what makes him an excellent MMA fighter. His speed, and he's kind of just like this unorthodox, like he fights both southpaw and orthodox. He's just this weird kind of, they call him the spider because he's just like this weird creature in the MMA octagon. You know?
That's a great comparison. I would agree with that.
And honestly, up until July 4th, 2016, Kevin Durant was my absolute favorite player in the NBA. Straight up. Like, I can't deny it. And now he's, maybe somewhere in the 20s. I don't know.
Damn, super fell off.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, bro.
Now. So does he move up if he leaves or he ends up leaving?
No, he's absolutely, from here on forward, from when he won that championship, he's been forever relegated to a position that he can't come back from, in my basketball opinion.
Gotcha. So, question for you. So, I mean, with all that's happened, where's both of y'all? With all that's happened this season, I mean, do you see any changes this offseason, any moves, any potentials, anything that needs to happen? I mean, as far as teams, players, I mean, any scenarios?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'll say this. I believe the Warriors are the favorite.
Again.
So, as far as moves are concerned, I think any are going to be almost kind of pointless. But I do think that the Cavaliers are going to go hard for an elite player.
Do you think they're going to go for Melo? I heard some talk.
I think Melo is a possibility, but honestly, I feel like we have to rely on the basketball prince. This is where my basketball knowledge is like limited.
No, man, and this mostly goes to Jo for one. Jo, so if you're listening at any point, this is directly towards you because you are a huge Melo fan, and it's terrible. He's an aging superstar. Like he doesn't fit their system. They don't need Melo. Like He's always gonna be is a spot up shooter and an isolation player on that team. They have enough of that. There's not enough of a basketball for Kyrie, LeBron, and Melo to all do ISO basketball. We saw much in the finals. LeBron and Kyrie started in ISO because that's the only way they had to score. Melo's just not gonna fit that system. And then on the defensive end, I mean, he's gonna be that 4-man on the defensive end. He can body with someone, but is he gonna be able to play defense, all pick and rolls with quick guards? Is he gonna be able to rebound? Like people are so sleep on Kevin Love. Kevin Love is a great fit for their team. Everybody's just so quick to say, all right, he's gone this offseason, which Cavs may try to get rid of him, but I think they're gonna try to keep him first before they can get rid of him. They might try to somehow keep Kyrie, LeBron, and Kevin Love and try to get some superstar, which I don't think it's likely, but I guarantee they'll try to do that before they try and get rid of one of them. But I mean, Kevin Love, man, the way he rebounds the ball too, like they have a great tandem with him and Tristan Thompson. Tristan Thompson is a beast on the offensive glass. Kevin Love is a beast on the defensive glass. More times than not, he's spotting up shooting threes, but he shot great in the playoffs. I believe he brings a bigger body that the Cavs sort of need because Tristan Thompson is not that tall. He's 6'8" at tallest as a center. Kevin Love is a similar height, but he's a tough rebounder. They need that on that team with that lineup. I mean,
that's a good take because I do like Kevin Love a lot. He does take a lot of heat as being like number 3 on their team, and yeah, he is number 3, but he's a really good number 3. And I guess the Warriors' compliment to him is Draymond Green, and like Draymond Green is a good player. Yes, I hate the Warriors. I acknowledge their talent, however.
Man, you seem to be complimenting them like this entire podcast.
They just
your hate.
ran through the playoffs like, bro, they're the ultimate team, but they're also trash. It's crazy, right?
Real, yeah.
It's crazy, right? But,
yeah.
you line up Draymond Green and Kevin Love, and Draymond is a defensive monster, but Kevin Love is legit a threat from 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put Kevin Love on the Warriors, they're really, lights out. You know what I'm saying? Like, every position lights out. But for the basketball prince, I'm curious, is there any move in the NBA that makes any team competitive against the Warriors?
I mean, there's moves you can just come up with and make up.
If the Spurs got LeBron?
No. Things that are kind of realistic, things that people have been talking
no.
about. Like people have been talking about Chris Paul to the Spurs. PG can go anywhere.
So one Chris Paul, which is my favorite player in the NBA, I don't think he needs to go. Him going to San Antonio changes nothing. They changed nothing. San Antonio was second in the West. I mean, yeah, that one game when they were up 23 points on the Warriors. I mean, I don't think they were going to win that series, but like I said, that's something we'll never know. Golden State every time they always run into a team with an injured player. Every series they play for the past 2-3 years, someone is always injured. It's crazy how it's happening. You think about the past 2-3 seasons, they've always run into a team that's injured, and somehow they get the end of that stick, and then they get to the finals, and then they prove it in the finals, which, like I said, okay, you win it. Can't take that from you, but I would love to just see them in a tight series with San Antonio. I think now that's what people are going to be looking forward to seeing next year. Okay, maybe if San Antonio does add a Chris Paul, then, I mean, it changes a few. I don't know. I mean, I still don't make them a favorite. It don't put them ahead of Golden State. Do I think they can beat them in a 7-game series? No. But, I mean, maybe, Chris Paul finally gets to the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they win a game or two. But Paul George, he's number 1 on the list as far as needs to leaving Indiana. He needs to go to either Boston. I can see him in Washington. I can see him with the Clippers. I can see him with Cleveland. Some people are talking about that now. But that's part of the people, the NBA just creating stories. No one's heard anything from Paul George. Obviously, he's not going to come out and speak right now. But soon as they lost the series, they said, oh, Paul George is going to Cleveland. Or Paul George is going to Cleveland. Like, nobody knows if Paul George wants to go to Cleveland. That's the thing we heard about him is he wants to go to L.A. Or he's interested in L.A. But
Yeah, the stories are rampant at this time in the NBA before the draft and before free agency really goes off. But one thing that I think is possible is Chris Paul to the Spurs and Paul George to the Spurs. Paul George isn't a free agent yet, right? But he's potentially going to be traded. What do you know?
So I believe he has 1 year left, and the way that works is, if that contract, they play this next year in Indiana and that contract's over, come this summer he can leave just like Kevin Durant did. He can leave and just sign whenever he wants to, as long as that team has the cap and this and that. So the idea is that they're saying, oh well, the rumors are popping up that Paul George either wants to leave or needs to leave or gets out of Indiana. That gives their front office the idea that, okay, we need to trade Paul George for his contract up so we can get something for him. Because, like I said, they don't, they're liable that he's just going to leave and walk away the way Kevin Durant did. So that's the idea behind that, trying to get rid of someone before their contract ends to try and get something for him. True. And, I mean, he's going to be a hot topic this summer, man. We'll see what he does. I mean, no one's really heard much. There hasn't been much from him or from his camp about that. But
okay, so we see that it's possible to create, like, a super team beyond super team. Like, I think that the Warriors are like 3 steps above whatever a super team is. So what do you think about Chris Paul in the following season, Spurs, Paul George when he's a free agent, Spurs, with Kawhi Leonard, LaMarcus, and maybe one more person. Maybe LaMarcus leaves and they get a Blake Griffin. Is that even can that come
Blake
close to the
Griffin,
Warriors?
Man. Blake Griffin, man, he's so soft. He's just soft, man. Like, every year he gets injured. Like I think Clippers, like I think if they can get Paul George or Melo, they're gonna give it one more shot just because Doc swears up and down his team is one of the best, is the best team in the league and ready to go. And they on paper they look like they are, but in the season, they just have too many ups and downs. They go on losing streaks, not playing well, and then right before the playoffs, they want to get right and whatnot. Next thing you know, Blake Griffin's injured. And now you find yourself in a Game 7 versus Utah Jazz, and you lose. Like, it's either Blake Griffin's got to go or they give it one more shot and try to add Paul George or Melo. And it's crazy because, like I said, I'm a fan of Chris Paul, so I want to see the Clippers do well. I want him to get to an Western Conference Finals, to an NBA Finals. But, I mean, Blake Griffin's got to stay healthy. He's gotten hurt the past, I believe, two playoff seasons for sure. He's gotten hurt, and he's ends up being out the whole playoffs. And that team's not going to get to that third round in the West without him. Yeah. But Blake Griffin's just soft, man. He's just soft, man.
Yeah. Well, honestly, man, it's a little hard to even talk about anything basketball for me because the Warriors have just monopolized the entire NBA, and hopefully you guys will allow me to go into a rant because I have a very elaborate rant about the Warriors for later in the podcast. But moving away from the elite, NBA Finals, NBA talk, what about the draft? Anything popping up for you?
Man, I mean, the NBA draft, obviously Lonzo Ball is a hot topic. We don't know what's going to happen with him. Are the Lakers going to draft him? I mean, has his father put him in a spot where, okay, not only the Lakers not with you now, but every other team in the league is hesitant to draft you because, one, your dad is an asshole and just does too much.
Right, and he refused to work out for any other team.
Why? What's the point of that?
Yeah.
What's the point? If you're doing these workouts, I mean...
How often do other players not work out with every other team? Or not every other team, but any team that requests a workout with them?
I mean, players turn down workouts, but it's for a certain reason. Maybe they know kind of where they're going to get drafted, or maybe they have an idea where they're going to go. But as far as saying, hey, yeah, no to every NBA team, I haven't heard of it. I've never heard of it. I mean, who are you to say that? Is Lonzo Ball going to be that guy? I don't like him in LA. That's not a great fit. The Lakers have way too many guards. Think about their guards. They have D'Angelo Russell. They have Jordan Clarkson. They have Nick Young. They have Luol Deng. They have Brandon Ingram. They have They have some foreign guy on their bench that he's always getting crossed. He's always in videos getting crossed by some people. That's 6 guards right there that are already on their roster. And then they had Lou Will this year. They got rid of Lou Will. So they still have 6 guards. I do think Nick Young is gonna be gone, unfortunately, man. Swaggy P. Sorry,
R.I.P. Swaggy P.
R.I.P. Man. He's gonna be gone this summer. Don't know where he's gonna be at, but I hope he gets signed, man. But that'd be dope if Atlanta picks him up. That'd be dope. Me and him could link up sometime.
Hey,
okay.
Shout out to the Swaggies.
Yeah.
But with the draft and with the Lakers, I think I've heard a little bit of rumors, ESPN, different sports talk that D'Angelo could be headed out.
Yeah, I was saying, what do you do with them? Okay, you draft Lonzo Ball, so you're getting rid of D'Angelo now. I mean, are you trading him? What are you getting for him? What is he worth in the league? He was a number 2 pick in his draft, but I mean, are teams that crazy over him? I don't think so. I mean, the potential is there because of his age. I believe he's 21, but and like I say, he's very young, but I mean, I'm talking about like he's in his prime, or whatever. He's 21, so his ceiling's up there. But I mean, right now, our teams, what teams are willing to make a risk to get him like that?
Absolutely. And I think I heard probably for the first time this morning or last night that Boston has agreed to trade the number 1 pick to Philadelphia, and they are putting out that they're taking Markelle Fultz. You guys ever heard this?
Oh no, I haven't heard this yet.
Yeah, so go ahead.
Have they've agreed to already? Or they're interested? Or
like I'm pretty sure the stories are saying that they've pretty much worked it out.
Philly,
yeah, damn.
Philly, trust the process.
Right.
So a team of Markelle Fultz, you have Ben Simmons, and you have Joel Embiid. Joel can stay healthy along with Ben Simmons.
Right.
That's a future there, man. I mean, what are they training it for though? What is Philly giving them? I'm confused.
Yeah, so the Boston Celtics, this is on ESPN.com, and Philadelphia 76ers have agreed in principle to swap the numbers 1 and 3 picks in Thursday's NBA draft. And Philadelphia is expected to use the number 1 pick on former Washington guard Markelle Fultz. So
Boston had the 3rd pick too?
No, 76ers did.
Okay, they're just swapping 1 and 3?
Yeah. But the Celtics will receive at least one additional first round pick in the deal. Sources
For
told
another year,
ESPN.
next year,
Yeah,
later season.
2018 possibly. So with that information, that kind of makes Lonzo Ball a definite Laker. Even though people on ESPN earlier today were saying that De'Aaron Fox is like kind of that dude. And I don't know anything about him. Are you familiar with De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah, out of Kentucky. I mean, he's tough, man. He's a tall, lanky guard. He's about 6'2", 6'3". Lonzo Ball's a bit taller, but he has the quickness of John Wall. Like his quickness and his acceleration, his speed, are just like John Wall, like especially from his Kentucky days. I mean, he in the league. I mean, obviously he's gonna work on that 3-point shot, but as far as quickness and whatnot, he's gonna be able to find himself as long as he can control that speed, control his pace of the game, because it's gonna be a different type of game, different type of style. But I mean, his speed along with he has a solid mid range game. He's a lefty. He's gonna present different matchup problems. I mean, he's definitely up there in that. He's gonna be a lottery pick. I don't know where he would go to. I'm still just looking at that fact that Boston and Philly traded picks. Why on Boston's end would they? I don't wonder why would they trade the pick. Who are they looking for at number 3? Because Boston's also an interesting team. Just does we throw that Paul George out there, but they have so many because they have those wing pieces to go get a player. They have Avery Bradley, Jay Crowder, Jaylen Brown, Gerald Green. I mean, they got 4. Those are 4 wing guys that have a solid career, especially Avery Bradley. I mean, Jay Crowder's been a starter for them. Gerald Green has shown that he can still get hot by all means. He started a couple of games in the playoffs, so I mean, are they trading players for that pick? I mean, they have their room, and they have Jaylen Brown as a rookie. I mean, he plays the same position. He was a rookie this year. And he had some good moments as well. So, I mean, he's also from Georgia. I don't know if y'all knew that, but he went to Wheeler High School. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I didn't know that.
In Marietta. So, yeah, he's
turn out.
Wheeler is a basketball powerhouse,
Absolutely.
to my understanding.
Yeah.
Here in Georgia. Yeah, the NBA draft is right around the corner. Probably going to be kind of interesting. But as I said, it's really hard to even think about the NBA because the Golden State Warriors have ruined it.
Pretty much.
But I got to ask the basketball prince, and I ask him this from time to time about young players. Because I find myself thinking about 5-10 years down the line when Kevin Durant is old and retired.
Damn, bro, you are super hating right now.
Man.
Bro.
He ruined the season. I mean, I feel him, man. He ruined the season.
Bro.
Even without Kevin Durant, I kind of think the Warriors would have won this series.
No.
Yes,
they would have got.
It wouldn't have been as easy.
No, I think the Cavs.
Why do you say that?
I think
they still have all the firepower.
The
one time
the Cavs were healthy, the Cavs beat them.
Right. I think the Cavs
and
learned
they
the
were
formula.
Unhealthy. That's the thing.
I think the Cavs learned the formula to beat them
Were they
in the finals.
Who was on?
Yeah, Steph Curry had wobbly knees, and Draymond Green got suspended. That's unhealthy.
At that point in the season, anyone playing is hurt at that point. Everyone's hurt at that point.
Except for LeBron, who is never hurt.
Unless you can't run up and down the court, everyone has some type of nagging injury at that point.
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
And then that started coming out when we started playing bad. I mean, and then in the season they said, okay, yeah, Curry was hurt.
He missed a couple of games, didn't he?
He did, and then he
Not
put
in
up
the
40
finals.
against Portland.
Touche.
Not in the finals. I mean, all I'm gonna say is that level of unhealthiness was nowhere on Cleveland's level the first time they played. They didn't have Kyrie or Kevin Love.
That's true.
I don't want to hear it. And the next year they had them. I mean, they win. And then they go add Kevin Durant. Obviously, you just can't compete with that right now. I mean, Cavs, you got to switch something up. Interested to see what moves they make also because you're looking at the Amon Shumperts and the JRs and the Channing Frys.
So speaking of the Cavs, do you have any takes about bald LeBron?
Him and Draymond.
Did Draymond shave his head too?
No. Did you see the rant they had on social media the other day?
Nah, but go ahead.
The day of their of the Warriors parade or their championship parade or whatever. LeBron posted a video, like I said, of him in the gym working out. You can see that he looked bald essentially, and he was jamming to his music and whatnot. He's working out, and then Draymond posted something saying, man, I guess the Dubs made him go bald, like congrats or whatnot. And then LeBron, ranted back and posted a picture of Draymond on their championship day. He was wearing a black T-shirt that said "Quickie" on it, Quickie with a championship trophy, and the Q was like how the Q looks for Quicken Loans Arena where the Cavs play. And Draymond got an interview about it. And he was like, what's up with the shirt? Quickie, what does that mean? And he was like, "Oh, I mean, NBA Finals, it was kind of quick this year. I mean, we had like a week's rest. Then we played for like a week and a half, and it was over with. I mean, it was just kind of quick, And they say he was throwing mad shade. He was throwing mad shade. But LeBron did back. He posted that picture of LeBron. I mean, of Draymond talking, wearing that T-shirt, and he said, "Quickie?" Question mark. That's what she said. I mean. It was a little petty, but it was funny though. It was funny, and it happened like at a fairly equivalent time. Everybody was like, "Man, like what?" Like it shows that Draymond and LeBron still don't like each other by all means. There were jokes saying that they're gonna be Shaq and Chuck on TNT one day.
Oh wow! Oh god, that's a fucking crazy take.
Can you even imagine that? Can they even talk?
No, please, no.
I don't think two guys who play in the finals against each other so much can just
no. They would just scrap it out every time.
Can you imagine Draymond on TNT?
Not at all.
Nope. Not at all.
But then you're gonna knee one of his counterparts anytime they talk trash about him.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, so I think that just goes back to the point of the Warriors ruining basketball because instead of watching Game 6 and 7, we're watching Instagram posts on some bullshit.
Yeah, wow.
That's
just see the battle on the court.
That's just how I feel, man. But back to the question about the young players. We saw a Devin Booker put up 71 this year. Who do you think is up and coming, man? And make a splash next season.
Devin Booker, he's up there. You can argue that he's that number one player as someone you're waiting for him. Okay, when is he gonna have his All-Star season? I think a year or two ago we were looking at Bradley Beal like that, and Bradley Beal, yet he still played well. He's had some injuries. He's still been kind of that same level, he's had spurts, but just not consistent enough. So I think now we're kind of, maybe this is last year. We say, okay, this is gonna be his All-Star year, and honestly, I think he should have been All-Star this year. I don't think Melo should have gotten. Melo got that last All-Star ballot, and I think there was a lot of word around the league saying that Bradley Beal should have got that. But between those two, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, as far as young players. Andrew Wiggins, he's put up numbers. It's just that he's with Minnesota and just that's kind of a similar trust the process type of 76ers team. They got a lot of young pieces. They have Karl Anthony Towns. You're kind of waiting to see, what can happen with them. As long as they're in the West, ain't nothing about to happen for the next 3-5 years.
So how long is it safe to trust the process? Like how long should they wait?
I feel like you should answer that because I feel like you believe in that trust in the process. You said all year,
bro,
Hawks,
no,
break your
man,
team up. Everybody,
that's false.
break your team up, like just tank and just
and just bounce, believing in breaking the team up is not
just bounce back a decade from now after Kevin Durant and LeBron retire. I'm like, man, what you want to?
That's kind of what you gotta do.
You sacrifice a decade. Okay, so basically you want to be the Sacramento Kings right now. You want to be the Denver Nuggets.
Do you see yourself any team? We've just discussed we don't see any team getting even close to the Cavs, let alone the Warriors, with any moves that they make. And all you can do is plan for the future. And if your plan for the future still does not work out because your would-be all-star players kept getting injured, like Anthony Davis, or just couldn't build the team around them, you got to reload. You got to move on to the next. And I think Anthony Davis is going to have an excellent career.
He's going to be the best power forward to play the game.
He's
going to be the best power forward.
That's false.
He's already on the verge.
That's false.
His numbers right now he's 23 years old.
Okay.
He's 23 years old. He has over a decade.
He's going to be overshadowed. His decade is going to be overshadowed
all
by
he needs to do is start winning rings.
5-6 more years of the Warriors.
Wait. Did you just say all he has to do is start winning rings?
If he continues his progress right now, he's 23 years old. He has.
Are y'all gonna flame him if he goes to the Warriors too?
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. He needs to get the fuck out of New Orleans. He needs to leave because he's not gonna do anything there with him. I don't know why they signed Boogie, man. They just not. That's not today's game. That's not today's game. You don't have two twin towers like that. The game is too sped up for that now.
And they don't have a point guard. Well, the Drew Holiday is good, but
they don't have a wing guy. You had a Paul George, and all right, you start talking to him, but Paul George ain't going to New Orleans.
That's too cluttered.
He might go there for Mardi Gras, and that's it. He ain't going there for that. But I think Anthony Davis, he's already one of the top players in the league. No?
Yeah.
Can you agree?
Absolutely.
If you pull up his numbers, you're a numbers guy. If you pull up his numbers and his career stats and compare it to all the other great power forwards and Kevin Garnett, the Tim Duncans, when they're at that age, I promise you, those numbers, Anthony Davis numbers are either better.
Okay.
But hence he's in a different team situation where he has to put up those numbers.
I feel like this argument gets made over whoever we just hope that next superstar is. I feel like it was done with Derrick Rose, and we see what happened. I feel like it's happening.
Injury? He had an MVP season. I mean, you don't get that.
Bro, they gave him the MVP season because he was not named LeBron James. That's why that happened.
I mean, you can say that.
You know it. Come on.
You can say that every year now about the MVP then. I mean, because...
And I will. All these awards are trash.
I mean,
the fix is in for everything.
This year, there's other people that deserve the MVP this year. And we can go into that.
Okay.
At a different time. But, I mean, we all agree, yeah. We take LeBron's greatness for granted so much. We're so used to it that, yeah, but also, you want to see someone different get it. Also, someone might go ballistic one season, and it's like, damn, well, like, LeBron, like, you had an amazing season, but... I mean, for instance, Harden and Westbrook, they just did something like they just put up crazy numbers. Again,
though, you're comparing those always against like, all right, LeBron is always amazing. Yo, this player who's normally not amazing did something amazing, so he deserves the MVP more than the guy who we already accept and expect to be amazing. Is that fair?
It's not fair, no. By all means, I don't think it is fair. I mean, so you're taking LeBron's greatness for granted. But I also feel like on the other side, you're giving credit to a player who. I mean, Westbrook averaged a triple-double. We all know the last person to do that was Oscar Robertson. I believe it was in the early 60s. This is the last time that's happened. I mean, who knows if we'll ever see something like that again, or when the next time we'll see something like that. There's certain performances that, I mean, it's understandable to see why the league gives the person that award. I think he should get the award for MVP. I mean, there's been a lot of debate this year between him and Harden because of Harden's team record and whatnot. I mean, the award is called Most Valuable Player, so I'm assuming it's about a player. Rather than an entire team. I mean, from top to bottom, yeah, Houston's going to play better just from top to bottom. Look at the names on the roster. But Anthony Davis, man, he's going to be good. He's going to be great. He just needs to get out of New Orleans. And when he starts getting playoff experience and he gets a ring under his belt at some point.
I'm going to remember this when he goes to the Warriors. And I'm gonna ask you guys, when he gets his ring with the Warriors, you're right. Yep, I'm going to hit y'all up and be like, what's good? Y'all want to record a podcast? What's good?
Yeah, man. I do believe Anthony Davis is an incredible talent. But the team situation just isn't working out, Well, not right now, and I don't think that's to say it couldn't work out in the future, but it's just like he's like a talented piece with nothing. He's like the LeBron of like 2007, but LeBron made it to the finals, so that's why he's the GOAT.
He's not LeBron then.
But yeah. So if you guys will allow me, I want to go on my Warriors rant.
Please do.
This is where I
wait. Are you gonna close out the basketball talk with it, or what do you want to do?
I think it's a good place to end because we got a lot of really good hot takes from the Basketball Prince, and I think we had a good podcast. But I'll be damned if I don't say what I gotta say.
Please do. Go ahead, man.
So first of all, I just want to say, as people, the Warriors are good people.
Okay, there's
Stephen Curry is a father, and he has two beautiful children and a beautiful family. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Kevin Durant, I feel like if he wasn't such a fucking asshole, we could be cool, July 4th, 2016. Never forget. And actually, I fucks with Clay. Like, I actually like Clay. Basketball, non-basketball, he's a cool dude, you know what I'm saying?
Because he smokes the weed.
I don't know. He just seems cool. And
he's high. Do you think he's high?
Does Clay continue to stay in Golden State?
Who gets more high?
Yeah,
JR.
I think so.
Yeah, he just stay there. He just deals with it.
Yeah.
He was up and down this year. I mean,
but I think they were asking him to do some different things. Not different, but like if they ask so much of him on defense, I don't expect him to go ham.
But he still will cash out like a good 5-minute run. But anyway, so all the guys are good people. They're good dudes. With the exception of Draymond, he's absolutely questionable with his character. Yeah, I'm saying it. But the reason why I absolutely despise the Warriors is because they have basically lucked into becoming a dynasty. I will not deny that they're a good team, and I will not deny that they built a good team.
Is it luck if they built
Yeah, Kevin Durant. Yeah.
What? Yes, that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Look, I hated before Kevin Durant, I hated the Warriors just because it was hate. Pure hate. Now I hate them because they have just ruined basketball. To the Basketball Prince's point earlier, the first championship they won, every point guard they played was injured.
Yes, every starting point guard from top to bottom was injured. From
Right.
Patrick Beverly to Michael Conley to who was that first round team? It was 8th or 7th seed, but the point guard was also injured. I can't think
Drew
of what
Holiday.
team it was.
Drew
Holiday
for the
Yeah.
Pelicans. Yep.
And then in the finals,
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So,
what I'm saying.
okay, yes, they're a good team, but if you win 60 games and you never play a starting point guard, you're going like it's kind of there for you to win a championship. I won't
They
deny.
won 70 games.
No.
about
That
the first
season,
year.
they
Oh,
won
oh,
like
2 seasons ago.
66 or something like that.
yeah, they won
Yeah.
some, yeah.
You know, so if you're a 60-win team and you don't play a starting point guard, like you know, okay, fine. That I let slide because, like I said, they are a good team. But, you know, they proved that they are beatable when the Cavs beat them. And that's when basketball was great. And then the Thunder
like
were
last
like,
year,
was competition,
Last year
yeah.
finals was great because, like, I mean, being down 3-1. I mean, I think we were quick to write them off, but like I said, the suspense in that finals was unreal. I mean, I hate to say it, but I mean, I do believe
It
that
was
finals
unreal, just like
yeah,
you said.
was rigged. I mean, I think it was
Unreal.
fixed, but
Not
hey,
real, yes.
as a fan, it
Right.
was enjoyable to watch because I
Right.
did not want Golden State to win for one because I hate them also. I just don't like them like that. But
thank you.
I mean, the way Cleveland came back 3-1, the way they suspended Draymond Green, yeah, that shit was rigged. Fixes it.
You know, I can't disagree with you, but it was damn interesting. And you know what's crazy? The Western Conference Finals were damn interesting. I don't know if you remember, but that Spurs OKC series was really good also.
In the semifinals, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Didn't that one go to 7 also?
I
This was 2
believe-
seasons ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
when the Cavs won. No, I think the OKC beat them
OKC beat them in
in
6,
6.
I believe.
And OKC kind of like rallied and like
OKC
kind of
looked,
shellacked them.
they looked good that year, man.
And then they go up 3-1 against the Warriors.
They looked good,
Oh,
man.
my gosh.
Like,
Okay, so the thing that has really completely turned me off to the Warriors at this point is that both Kevin Durant and the Warriors don't deserve each other. They have not done anything to prove that they deserve to play together. If you want to look at it in an old-fashioned basketball sense, fine. Consider it old-fashioned. I absolutely believe every player should have the right to choose and decide their destiny. But there is a level of sportsmanship that must be a part of every sport. Come on.
should have Adam Silver have denied that trade? Or denied
No,
that?
no, because if it's within the rules, if it's within the cap, and this is another thing that makes the Warriors so lucky that Steph Curry started off his career just being an injured freaking trash bag. So his salary is like
His
$11 million,
ankles,
which allows them to sign Kevin Durant. You know what I'm saying?
Trash bag, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting that contract this summer though. He's getting that contract now. I mean,
Absolutely.
He's more than paid his dues. He's up for a contract this summer, so we'll be seeing.
Stephen Curry should be the highest paid player of all time. When you're coming off 2 MVPs in a row, yes, absolutely. I don't give a fuck about Kevin Durant. He should be, and possibly he's probably not because they want to keep the team together. But I'm saying you have an injured Steph Curry. You go through a whole playoff series, a whole playoff playing injured point guards, not playing starting point guards because they're injured, and then you go 73-9 and you get the best player in the world. Okay, yes, fine. It's debatable. Back then, it was debatable, in my opinion. LeBron, Kevin Durant, and that's because I was a Kevin Durant fan. I actually thought Kevin Durant was the best player in the world. How do you go from going 73-9 to getting the best or second best player in the entire universe?
It just doesn't happen, man. It doesn't happen. I mean, and he's gonna be there for I say at least another 2 seasons, man. At least 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, on some real shit, man, the Warriors are at the same time the best team of all time and also the most trash team of all time. And they don't deserve anything that they have. Nothing.
Damn.
They
They
don't
don't work
deserve
for it, Tune. Damn.
Question for
Nah.
you.
Steph still had to hit those shots.
I'm not going to deny that Steph Curry he's the best shooter of all time. Klay Thompson, top 4 shooter of all time, in my opinion. Kevin Durant, but that's the thing. But then you get Kevin Durant, who, in my opinion, is top 3 or 4 all time shooting.
It removes the competition, yeah.
Question. So, I mean, there's been a lot of debates now of where does this Warriors team stack up in history as best teams ever? There's been a lot of back and forth between comparing them with Bulls or Lakers back in the '80s, Bulls in the '90s. I mean, how do you feel they measure up? This has been like a huge debate, so I'm interested to see what kind of how y'all look at it now.
Did you see what Steve Kerr responded to? I don't know. I think some like old heads were like, "Yeah, we could have beat them." Da 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 da. And some reporter asked him, like, "All right, what do you think?" And his response was like incredibly sarcastic, like, "Yeah, of course they would have smacked us up." Da da da. Like, yeah, they would have beat a team that won 73 games last year and then added the best player ever. Yeah, they'd have destroyed us. They played so much rougher, but like he was just like goading them, but saying yes. But even still, like you could see the smirk on his face, like there's no fucking way they could beat us.
Yeah. I mean, to your question, it's, honestly, like, even in recent history, I think the Warriors are one of the best teams of all time. Kevin Durant Warriors. The pre-Kevin Durant Warriors are, in my opinion, middle of the pack.
Yeah, they're a good team, beyond that.
But I think even the Heat, Bron, D-Wade, Chris Bosh could at least go 7, maybe beat them. But with Kevin Durant, like, it's like a cheat code. And I kind of do have to put them as the number 1 all time. I would say only the Bulls can, like, really fuck with them. But, the Bulls had a lot of talent. And I think the Bulls also had pieces everywhere. Kind of like the Cavs now. They have, like, LeBron and another piece that's, like, great. And every other piece is just, like, doing their job just enough. That's how I see the Bulls, So they were a great team. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to argue against the Warriors as the greatest of all time. I mean, what do you think, Basketball Prince?
I mean, I think if you ask any 40 or 50-year-old, they would say the complete opposite. With them seeing both the Bulls back in the day and then, Warriors now. I mean, OGs and old heads, they pride themselves on basketball back in the 90s and 80s. They love to just spit that in any young person's face. Oh, you don't know. Like, you're just watching what's going on now and whatnot.
That's going to be me. It's going to be me.
Definitely going to be you numbers guy. You're going to be putting up numbers 20 years from now. Like,
yeah.
Well, back in the 2017 finals, man. Like,
yeah, in 20 years when they blow these numbers out the gym, like, I'm going to have to be like, yo, these numbers are unreal. There's no way this guy should be hitting so many 4-point plays. Because they've added another fucking line to the NBA.
There wasn't no 4-point shot back in my day.
Yeah, that's gonna be
us.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day. Shit.
Man, but I think, man, with those two teams, Tune, you're right. It's so hard to pick one because the rules have been just different. There's different rules, different times. The game was different with me. Are we allowing teams to play physical like they were back in the day? I think if you played back in the 90s rules, and I think the Bulls could beat them in a series because they were so physical and so rough that they would be putting Steph Curry on his ass every play, which I don't know why no one doesn't do that. If he drives to the hole, knock him on his ass one time. Do it within the rules so you're not getting a flagrant. Knock him on his ass one time. I guarantee you anytime he drives in the lane and doesn't float it now, he's going to think twice. He's going to think twice about it. I don't see why no one does it. Just knock him down one time. Only person I say is Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly will have no problem getting at him and just pushing him down one time. Say, I'll get a foul here. It's his fault. Just push him over. But But then if you play with today's rules, where they're liable to call any type of ticky-tack foul, and you can't touch a guy in the league these days. You could say the whole Bulls starting five be in foul trouble in the first quarter.
Yeah.
So I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer. It just depends on, like I said, I think rules and just game situations.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against the current Warriors, but that is Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. Any final comments, fellas? Any sponsorships?
We are also sponsored by the Mayweather-McGregor fight coming to you in August. Okay. Check us out right there. We're going to be courtside. Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. We're going to have a banner up. Don't worry about it. In fur coats. Don't worry about it. It's going to be like 80, 100 degrees in Vegas that night, but, we stunting. Don't worry about it.
Hey, indeed. This is Real Talk Beyond the Headlines.
I got a little plug in. Man, salute boy 2 Chainz, man. Pretty girls like trap music.
Hey,
going crazy all weekend.
Yes.
Sponsored by 2 Chainz. Somebody in the group me referred to him as a Traplanta legend. Y'all agree with that?
I would agree with that. I didn't even see that comment, but yes.
You can always respect 2 Chainz, man. He about to turn 39 this year. He sold his soul to get where he's at now, but like he done been through a lot, man.
That's also true.
He done been through a lot, man. Like he's 39, he just not getting on. Like
not just now.
I mean, what 3-4 years now?
No.
He's
been
2012.
True Religion.
Okay, 5 years. That's fine. I mean,
yes, of course. Still,
okay.
the beginning of his career was still pretty trash.
When he left, when he got out of Disturbing the Peace, changed his name, he took off. I mean,
yeah.
Like I said, a lot of these guys in the game today, I mean, like I said, they're much younger and they're where they're at now. I mean, back when 2 Chainz when he was that age and he was with Players Circle, he was doing his thing, but he was nowhere near how he is now. And I will salute him on one thing, man. His marketing, techniques and tactics are like no other. Do y'all know what he did today?
What did he do today?
He just he uses to do his social media a lot. Today he offered to pay for girls' nails, like women's nails, to get their nails done all day today. He just had posted his address, hey, girls, pull up.
Yo, what about the fathers, bro? It's Father's Day. What the fuck kind of bullshit sexism is this?
But then
I'm just playing.
But then he's always dropping like merch, and he's been promoting the album since December, January. I mean, he's just he always finds something to kind of just keep his fans involved and whatnot. And man,
he does a great job at it. Yeah. I think another sponsorship that we definitely need to discuss is shout out to Big Boy for dropping this fucking album as well, same day that I know you've been bumping soon. Man. I need you to tell the fans about this album signing.
Basically, Big Boy was signing albums at the Best Buy. It's called Best Buy on Edgewood, even though it's nowhere near Edgewood, but okay, whatever.
#fun employment.
Right. #fun employment. So it was basically, I just stood in line, got the album signed, and I dapped up Big Boy. And I was like, thank you for releasing this album. He was like, we do it for you. I was like, bless up. You know what I'm saying? Big Boy is a Atlanta legend, man.
Yes.
Outkast is one of my favorite all time, but Big Boy has proven himself to be like a mastermind. But finally, someone in the group me referred to Young Thug as a Trap Atlanta legend.
Oh, God.
And I was like, because he said 3 Atlanta legends.
Dropped albums today, yeah.
Yes.
Right, the resident life expert of Real Talk Beyond the Headlines said that Young Thug, 2 Chainz, and Big Boy are Atlanta rap legends. And Big Boy and 2 Chainz I can agree with. Young Thug.
Have you heard his album at all? Or no?
That song Get High goes hard with Snoop Dogg, but I think that's the Snoop Dogg track all day, man.
Yeah, I mean, I like the track with Future, and I like the Tomorrow to Infinity. It's definitely a different kind of sound from him, just because he's tried to kind of slow things up before and somewhat sing to some tracks, but just the production, the beats, the guitars, the extra instrumentals and whatnot he has into this production it's definitely a different flow for him. And a lot of people are hesitant on that and not used to it because people just want to hear his street type of music.
Right.
I think an issue we've run into, though, like, kudos to Young Thug for trying something different, because I think a issue we've run into is a lot of this trap music sounding the exact same. I think one of the biggest issues with that is all these rappers are using the same 5 goddamn producers. These niggas can make only but so many beats. Like, all right, Mike Will can make it, but like, yo, come on. Like, but he does make some dope ass fire beats that are like incredible. But
it's Mike Will, it's a banger. I mean,
yeah.
Shout out to boy Buddha Bless. That is my boy Tyron. He is a producer for Street Execs and 2 Chainz. He actually has 4 songs produced on his new album. He actually produced Big Amount with Drake.
Hey,
Shout out me back in the day. Shout out Buddha Bless.
Shout out Buddha Bless. Hey, yeah. So hold up. So where do we stand with the Young Thug Trap Atlanta legend?
Not a legend.
No.
Maybe Future. I don't know, but
I think Future is undisputed.
I mean in the future for
Young
Thug. My bad. Okay. Yes, Future is absolutely a legend. Let's be clear. Let me be clear.
But, I got one more sponsorship. Shout out to I'm a Falcons fan by how do I say this? By
association?
regional association. I got Niners fan all day long, never forget, but I've been in Atlanta for 12 years, so I got love for the Falcons. Shout out to Michael Vick's retirement ceremony, sponsored by Michael Vick's retirement ceremony, and all those young pups that he's brought into this world and help grow and thrive into be.
Damn.
But yeah, shout out to Mike Vick. I know Herschel's excited about that. You say what?
Unless you gotta get your mans, or no, you gotta fall out. What do y'all call it? Y'all got a guy to take the blame. Y'all
fall guy?
say, yeah, fall guy.
Oh yeah, you gotta have a fall guy, or yeah, you're getting fucking in trouble in the NFL. Like they're coming for you.
Indeed.
Absolutely. Great callback to a past episode. Fans, make sure you check that shit out.
Hey, this is Real Talk Beyond the Headlines. Thank you for tuning in. Coming to you live from Atlanta. And everything you heard on this podcast, you heard it for the first time ever. Featuring the Basketball Prince, repping Atlanta, coming out of Atlanta.
Yo, if you have opinions, if you hated what the fuck we said and have some like, you love KD and this is why he was right or anything like that, yo, make sure you write us in. We're on Twitter, Real Talk, at Real Talk BTH. Email us at realtalkbth at gmail.com. Holla at us.
Yeah, most definitely. Herschel, one more question, bro.
What's good?
No love for Roddy White?
A little bit of love.
What?
See, man. Okay, Roddy White was really good. He was a possessing receiver. I'm sorry, man. Julio has like just surpassed him because they played at the same time for a little bit. Like Julio became that number one receiver so fast that sometimes it's sad to say I forget Roddy.
Angel also, in the mix as well. It was Roddy. That's true. Roddy White's time to, okay.
That's true. And he was reliable until, his final season where he was just a little bit older, couldn't get the separation, wasn't running routes, wasn't catching balls. I don't know what the fuck was going on. Man's had his money, so it is what it is. But the Falcons have been cooking even without Roddy White. Mohamed Sanu, I see you, bro.
It's a great pick.
Cook.
Great
yes,
pick
absolutely. Yeah. Our receiving core has me so hyped all the time. Taylor Gabriel, lit. I was so concerned, bro. I was scared that we were not about to have any replacement.
Sounds to me like we're getting into another podcast.
You're right, bro. All right.
Hey, peace.
Okay.